Welcome to class for lecture today, everyone. We're going to talk about oil and filter changing today, which is a great topic to do, especially if you want to be a mechanic when we grow up, right? That's the goal here. So these are our learning objectives. You can go ahead and look through those and take some notes on those throughout the week as we go through things. The topics we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the type and amount of oil that we need. We're going to get together all of our supplies. We're going to show you how to prepare your vehicle. We're going to locate the filter and the drain plug. We're going to drain the oil and change the filter, and then we're going to add some new oil, and then you'll be on your way. We're going to check the type and the amount of oil needed. So this is where we're going to reference the owner's manual. And I know, like, when you get experience, you're going to see vehicles come in and you're going to know right off the top of your head what kind of oil you need. But in the beginning, I would definitely check the owner's manual. You want to match the oil's viscosity to your engine type. You're going to usually use about 5 to 7 quarts of motor oil. It's going to be likely a 5W20, a 5W30, a 10W30, or a 10W40. We're going to get together our supplies. We want to get together the filter we need. I have a couple different samples of filters here. We have a canister filter, and then we have a screw-on filter. Again, like, we want to double check the owner's manual, and once you get some experience, you're going to be able to go right to the shelf and pull off the one you need. But for now, again, reference the owner manuals, or even a coworker probably could help you with that. So there's different types of filters, and with different types of filters come different types of wrenches. You can see that here too. We're going to make sure we have all of our safety measures in place as well. We're going to prepare our vehicle. The oil should be warm but not hot. If your car's been sitting, you want to start the engine and let the engine warm for a little bit. If it's been hot when you first get there, then you want to let it cool it off. You're going to follow your proper safety measures, which we already discussed in Module 2, so I want you to refer back to that. And then you're going to ensure the vehicle is lifted and install safety standards. You're going to locate the oil filter and the drain plug. The images are on here are examples of where the oil filter and the drain plug will be. As you can see here in this image and in this vehicle, they're side by side. This one is where you would actually pop the hood, and it's going to be from the top. And then in this picture, this shows the oil plug all the way over here by itself, not directly near the filter. So sometimes it takes a little bit, but again, once you get some experience, you're going to know where to find these things. Now we're going to drain the oil. We want to position the drain pan under the drain plug, but not directly. The oil comes out at an angle like this, so you want to make sure it comes out like this. And again, remember, the oil is going to be nice and hot. You're going to remove the oil cap of the filter, or the filter cap. This is going to help create it so it releases some of that pressure so the oil will drain. You're going to remove the drain plug with a common end wrench and some muscle. Now, this is what I have on hand today to show you what most mechanics will use. This is in your kit that you purchased. You just have to be really careful because this has a lot more torque than what's recommended, and then you're going to pick the size that you need. You're going to go slow when you're removing the drain plug, and then you're going to also remember that it is warm. You don't want it piping hot, so let the engine cool before you begin. Now, we're going to tighten the drain plug, and we're going to put it back in, but we want to inspect things first. I have an example of one here, like when I was mentioning the torque. This one was put on with too much torque, so it actually got stripped coming out, so this whole oil plug needed to be replaced. This is what one should actually look like. I'll pass these around now so you guys can all take a look at these. Now we're going to change the oil filter. Again, we're going to locate it, and the examples I've shown here have the threaded filter here, like this, and this is the type of wrench that you would use for that, okay? And you're going to, like, put it right on, get it nice and tight, and it should come right loose. Now we're here, and I have this in front of me. I want to mention this. This is a huge thing. So I have this here with me today as a reminder, because this right here can cost a fortune when you're a mechanic. This filter was actually put on with 2 O-rings. You can see that this O-ring was here. This one got put on with 2. So that meant the old ring from the old one was on, and then the new one was placed on. Didn't create a good seal. Very detrimental. The engine actually blew up. So we want to prevent this. We always want to make sure that we're checking to make sure we don't have 2 O-rings in place. So even though we're in a rush because that's production, of course, but we always want to take the time to do that because it's better to take your time and spend 30 minutes on an oil change sometimes, especially in the beginning, than to have an engine blow up for obvious reasons. We're going to clean things up and get things up with these rags, some rags here. These are pretty awesome rags. We're going to clean everything up, make sure everything's nice and clean, and then we're going to take a smear of new oil and we're going to place it around the O-ring before we put it in. We're going to install the new filter, but before we tighten the filter, I like to put a little hash mark here, a little reference line on it with a marker or a paint pen. And then we're going to put it in, and then just by hand, you're going to turn it 3/4 of a turn with no tools. You don't want to overturn it. And now we're going to add the new oil. We're going to double check that the oil drain plug was put back in. We're going to make sure the filter is put back in and tight. We're going to add about a quart less of oil than what the recommended amount is. We're going to hold the oil bottle on its side for a clean pour. And then we're going to replace the oil cap. And that's like on the top, under the hood there. You're going to run the engine for approximately 30 seconds, and then you're going to shut it off and you're going to inspect for leaks. Once you know everything's okay, you're going to take the car off the jack stand or the ramps, and we want it on level ground at this point. Now we're going to check the oil level. Again, we're going to have it on level ground. We're going to pull the dipstick out. We're going to wipe it off. We're going to stick the dipstick back in. We're going to take it out, and we're going to read the oil level. Now we know right now we're assuming that it's going to be a little short, so we're going to add the rest of the recommended amount of oil, and we're going to do it again and check. Sometimes we might need a little bit more. We're going to just keep repeating 1 through 4 until we know we have the right amount. And that's that. We're going to make sure there's no leaks. We're going to make sure we didn't double O-ring. We're going to put safety first. And there you go. That's how you change the oil on a vehicle. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see you guys in lab.